It's a grave sin. Oh, that's the whatchamajiggy of the thingamabob. That's why it's doing that. Why is my OBS thing not showing? Okay, that's what my virtual camera is showing. And what is it? Let's see. Virtual camera is showing Gamma HD 001. Oh, okay. Yeah. So here we are. I'm trying to take a look at my artificial individual. Get them added in. Let's see. What am I sending? Okay. That I can see what's going over Google Meet. That's good. Every day and every way we're getting better and better. Thanks for tuning in. And yeah, I'm like wanting to get a clean shot of this virtual magic mirror thing, and what I had mentioned earlier is the light. You know, the way the shader is going to behave, that's going to happen. You know, on the model itself, the result that you're going to get is going to depend on what you're exporting from VRoid Studio. So, without further ado, let me go over here and see if I can load a different sample model, which has more of taking better advantage of the shader. So I'm going to go load from file on PC. And let's get out on the network. Because I had set one up, I think, in K003. Just going to run over there right quick and have a look. yeah, there's a VRM folder, and this is the one that I got a little bit better shader results from. I'm going to copy that, and then I'm going to get back onto this computer. I don't want to load it over the network because that's going to, dog the system's going to be slow. And yeah, I'm putting these in avatars, female Vroids, and paste. Alright, so let's select that one. And we're going to get a little bit of a different look. Taking a minute to load. Well, come on, dear. Thought I was gonna. Oh, there she goes. All right, now you can see I've got, and this is just from the lighting settings in Vroid. That I've got more sort of a 3D effect with her. So let's get her big up there so she see how she looks. Let's see what I'm delivering here to my class participants. All right, looks good. Now, I'm going to teach this exactly how I want to teach it. I don't give a crap what anybody thinks. You get tired of that as a teacher, Oh, you got to use the new, this methodology or something like that. And they always come up with something new. And you got to master it, and then when you're working in a particular school, you got to do it exactly the way that they do it, or they're going to give you all kind of hell. Oh, that's not what I wanted to see. Okay, there we go. All right. So I'm gonna try to run through this. We just use this on Magic Mirror, right? We typically have our settings, our basic settings panel with its 4 tabs: streaming, X-Tracker, accessory, enhance. And then the window where we're displaying our avatar. We can load the file from the PC, or we can load from the Vroid hub. Now, there's a connection with the Vroid hub and we can and this application, Virtual Magic Mirror, and a lot of stuff. You can. Well, it's like you can't download it. You'll be out there on the Vroid hub, and people will put stuff out there, and they're like, "Well, you can't download it, but you can. If you like it, then you can get it from the Vroid hub when you're in Magic Mirror." And I'm not sure, but I'm pretty sure that gives the person that set the avatar up, that gives them the option of removing it, and then you won't be able to load it anymore. Should they so decide? Some people just put their stuff out there just to show, oh, look at my cool thing. Right. So, but this, I have found when you load from the Vroid hub that it doesn't, like, the first thing I would think is like, well, let me go to the Vroid hub and like everything that I might possibly want to use, and then I'll come back here and I'll go load from the Vroid hub and I'll see everything. No, it's weird. It gets sort of, I can't see the pattern, sort of kind of a random selection of the stuff that you liked. And so you go back and, well, what happened with me, just for anybody who may be on the Vroid Hub doing stuff, is all the stuff that I liked. I went and removed the lights because I was trying to figure out, well, what makes it actually appear to load here. Couldn't figure it out. Sounds, kind of unreliable or something. All right, so I can check this load current VRM on the next startup. So it's checked. So she will load from my local disk since I copied her there, and I can do this adjust size by VRM. Okay, if we load, like for example, she is taller than the last model that was in here, not significantly so, but this option that you have of adjust size by VRM is a quick way of calibrating to the actual height of your model. The devices, like if you're using a pen pad or you've got the keyboard or whatever. And you'll find this is more extreme in the case when you have like a little Panda or something like that that you load. It's going to be way out of whack when it's set up for a tall animated character like this, and you're going to have to use that little button to calibrate it. Now you can manually calibrate it in another part of the console, but that's what that is. Okay, so we can view this application in Chinese, Japanese, and English. Those are the three, and simplified, in fact, which I think is interesting. How come you don't have Fanti, which is traditional Chinese? Right. They finally getting with the program or whatever, embracing modernity or something. Yeah. We can set it to start on Windows Startup. That should be self-explanatory. And this is our open setting window, which we can get all the basic stuff that we need here, but there's more in the panels that's exposed in opening the setting window. We can open a web page, which is the manual URL. All right, now we can set up and take pictures. We can set up scenes or whatever and take pictures of it and open the save folder. And if we have an elaborate setup of some kind, we can save and load settings files, import and export. So if you have a complicated setup and you want to move to another computer, you can export your setting file and move it there, and then you can reset everything to defaults. Okay, let's get here. Transparent window. All right, see what that did. Now, let me get back here. I want my setting panel to get. Hello. Oh, yeah. So this is interesting. That's gonna since I've got this this model loading in the front, right? Transparent window. The background, what's a background for her, is really going to occlude that, right? So that's an interesting phenomena there. Now I'm going to go back to background image. Let's see, get it maximized or whatever, and to get, well, you get into a situation like that, you got to move this window out of the way. And the reason is because we're an accessory and we have this low poly abandoned brick room that's our environment, right? So we'll get to that when we come to it. All right, so we can put in a background image, we can clear the background image, and we want it, when we're in transparent window, we're going to get this capability to drag the character. You notice I put my mouse on top of her and she doesn't become transparent, and she can't really be dragged. So now watch this. I'm going to go, it's checked, when transparent, drag character. So I go transparent window. Oh, now I can't get to this. Okay, but look, when my mouse goes over her, she becomes transparent. I drag this down out of the way, and then I turn transparent window back off, and then put her back, and there you go. Let me see, somebody trying to get I've got to go to my. I think I may have somebody trying to admit. Hello.
Hey.
Hey, I'm gonna stay on this track and just keep going. I was trying
Okay.
to not be super ADD this time around. So I've
Understand.
gone all the way up to streaming and talked about the dragging capability that you don't get if you're not running a transparent window. And I'm just you can hear me, right?
Yeah, I can hear you. You're good.
Just this is an interesting thing. Now, this she's got a background, right? Which is a real model, right?
Right.
So that's really in transparent window. That means that this quote unquote background is now going to occlude. Let me show you what I mean. All
It's
right,
gonna
so
block it.
yeah, so boom. Okay, now how can I get to my application? You know, I can't get to it. You know, whatever like that. Okay, so actually, I accidentally hit the thing and made it go back. But in a situation like that, I've got the thing where now I can drag it out of the way, and then go back to transparent window, and then I can grab this top bar like you do with a typical application and pull it back into position here. Okay, the lip sync, I can see all microphones here. So I want to make sure that it's not just saying if it says microphone, then it might not be working. You know, that's just like a placeholder. I want to make sure I've got the right one selected. And I like it to show volume. It doesn't really seem like it's showing volume. USB audio codec. Well, actually, you know what I want to do? I'm just checking out making sure my Twitch audio is going across. And I think it is. Let's see. Hi, if you're on my class and my Twitch audio is not coming across, please tell me. I've got this fan going, and it's sort of, you know, it's really, I don't even want to turn my microphone on with a big fan blowing, but it's really hot. So that's the life. All right, so
I have confirmed your audio is going out over your Twitch screen.
and it sounds okay.
Yes.
Okay, good. Now for face tracking, I've got multiple cameras here, and the what I'm going to do now is I'm plugging in. I had disconnected the USB camera that was set to do face tracking, so I'm going to turn this off and hopefully turn it back on and get yeah, let's see. Yeah, okay, so now she's picking up my my head movements, as you can see. All right, now that is a secondary USB camera to the 4K, which is my 4K camera, which is displaying my face. I have not found that you can share. Like it seems like if the virtual camera allows, and I'm gonna open up. So I've gone to the settings for my virtual camera here, and I can tell the virtual camera to show a scene that has nothing but my webcam in it. Theoretically, that virtual camera should be able to be it's selectable here. Like if I click this, I can see there's the OBS virtual camera. I have not been able to get face tracking from that. So I'm gonna leave it like it is. High power mode is supposed to give me more robust face tracking. I guess if you got a performance issue, you can turn that on and off and see if it's gonna help you. Calibrate position, right? Make sure, get your model lined up correctly with it. Now I can set her to look by default at the user at none. She's just looking straight off into space, right? Or at the mouse, and I prefer the mouse. Hands down mode is just getting her to stand like so. See. I get more realistic or more desirable motion capture when I enable twist motion. If you get a problem with a particular avatar, you can try turning that on or off. You can make this where it doesn't do anything for the key mouse motion, right? Or you can have her like doing as a presenter. Look here. Okay. Or pen tablet, right? So she's writing on a pen tablet, etc., right? Or just default. If I think like if you get her like she's like that, and then you go to none, now she's just gonna stay there like that. Right, if you want that kind of position or whatever like that, that's a way to get her to where she'll just stay there, just like that. Okay, so default, and this is for the arcade stick. And as I mentioned before, I have an arcade stick, but it's not hooked up. I'm really not in a good place to run it on this particular station. But I don't know. What I don't know about this is when you select arcade stick, does your gamepad, and this turns on the gamepad, which this character will animate with this gamepad. If you've got an arcade stick hooked up, is it going to be an arcade stick that appears? And is it going to animate the hand with that? I do not know. Turn that off. This is the shadow. I don't know. Shadow doesn't really, I sort of like the shadow, like if she's standing in front of a book or something like that. I kind of like the shadow, but this one I don't like it. Now, desktop color based lighting means that that's how it's gonna light the model, and generally in dark mode it doesn't look that good. These are the effects that you can have. Either no typing effects, little text characters will fly off, light rays, which is what I use, or little butterflies will fly off. So this is just little effects that they put in there. Now wind, we'll talk about wind later. What I do generally, if when I'm setting up wind, if I want the wind to be stronger or something like that, I don't want it passing through the character, the hair passing through the character. And generally what I do is I turn the wind up to the maximum level so I can see really clearly what the direction of it is, and then I get my orientation that I want to have the hair flying away from the model rather than colliding with it. If it collides with it, the tendency is for the hair to pass through the underlying mesh. This is your camera thing, and these are some saved camera setups that I put in here. You just put your camera in free mode, set your character where you want it to be, and then hit quick save, and then you can bring that up all you want. Now in the very beginning I was talking about adjust size by VRM, right? So when you're on streaming, in device layout, you're going to get this, right? So the machine will set it up how the machine thinks it's supposed to be, but by going in here, you can you can play with it and calibrate it just exactly like you want it to be. So if you turn off free layout, that's going to go away. Now, word to motion, what that does is you can take, well, it's set right now for keyboard numbers. So if I hit 1, there she's laughing. 2, she's mad. 3, she's sad. 4, she's happy. She's waving hello. This is 6, thumbs up. Reset. Let's see. 9, and applause. And 0 is reset. All right, so that's the way I have it set up. You can have it where you type on the keyboard a word to get a particular emote, or gamepad controlling the expression. Now, as far as a MIDI controller, that's very interesting. I'm not sure how I would use that, but maybe we'll find out later. So these are just nodding and head shaking things. Now, I have still not got an emulator working to where we could enable the external tracker from a phone. So I'm not going to talk about that today, but these are all things that you can take advantage of once the external tracker is engaged. Accessories. The folder is Documents, vMagic Mirror Files, Accessories. So there's all the stuff that you put in there. And I put a little folder in there called No, because this, like, it doesn't seem, if I have a GLB file, and it's got baked on textures, it's 112 megs, it does not seem to load right. My tendency is to eventually move stuff that will not load at all in Virtual Magic Mirror and put it aside. But I like to keep the other stuff in there because I can set it up and calibrate it. And let's see if my hat stuff is still working. Let's see. Yeah, so there she is with her hat on. Right, so if I have a bunch of different accessories or costume things like that, I'd like to leave it in there, and then I can suddenly change my scene and do something creative with it. I have 2 of these things turned on. When you have to hit to see what the thing is bound to, what it's linked to. You have to open this rollout panel, and that's where you can start entering in the coordinates of it and scaling it and making it fit your character, or setting up some kind of a tableau. Now you can see I have her in front of this character. It seems to me I should be able to get animated stuff to come in here. Unity, this is built on Unity, and Unity supports it, but so far I haven't had time to find something. But also you can see you've got some real nice shader capabilities here that you're not seeing so much when you're setting up models in Vroid. You don't see those kind of material adjustment options in there. You do in Vroid. You do have some unwrapped UV templates, and I want to say UV unwrapping. Just a quick definition of what it is. If you think about when you're in elementary school, and there's a world map, there's some kind of pull down world map, and it's like it's got all these cuts in it. Right, the thing that you've got is the geometry of a sphere is not the same as the geometry of a plane. It's a different kind of geometric system. So there's no perfect way to take a three-dimensional character, right, and flatten it out, flatten its texture out into a 2D texture. You have to go and you have to do UV unwrapping. And what goes on is it says, well, for every point on the character, for every point X, Y, and Z on the character, I'm going to have a point UV and W, right? And then I'm going to let the W go to 0 to map that into 2 dimensions, map the three-dimensional character into 2 dimensions. So just like you have X, Y, and V for X, Y, and Z for the coordinates of a vector in a 3-dimensional space, you have these placeholders UV and W, which are generally used for texture coordinates. And when you're going to 2 dimensions, you're dropping the W that's going to 0, and you're going to flatten the texture and create a template that you can then paint on. All right, so hand tracking, I'm going to go ahead and turn this on and see. It's hanging up a little bit. Yeah. Now you remember, they want you to pay if you've got. So now you see. Now I'm gonna see if it will show this. Show detection status. That's what I want. Well, come on, guys. Show me your detection status. Now I can get both my hands up here. And do stuff like that. But what they've done is, if you, well, you know, I don't know. Try raising hands next to the face. I don't know why it's not showing today, but usually it's gonna, when it detects your hand, and it is detecting the hand, it's gonna show like a dot thing there, so you can see it. All right, so whoop-de-doo. Well, now I want it to go back. I don't want, okay. Turn off hand tracking so I can get my stuff looking good again. And let me go into my setting. Streaming, quick load. Okay. Yeah. Oh, good. All right. So get this back up. Now, you can see when you've got all these little panels like window, face, motion, right? Here you have, in the settings window, you have window, face, and motion. There's just more stuff in there. For example, it's got this when transparent, always put the character in the foreground, right? And it's also got a reset character position there. All right, I can change my background color to anything that I want. And I can adjust the amount of transparency I'm getting. If I put this on 128 is 50%. So if I go to transparent window, she's 50% transparent. Now I can move her by bringing this back up here. Now, see what I'm delivering here. All right, here's your microphone settings. You have more here. Auto blink during face tracking, enable forward and backward motion, disable horizontal flip. All right. Blink adjust by head motion and lip sync. Right. And this is the setting that I always choose. Look at the mouse. Move eyes during facial expression applied. Apply eye bone curve defined in avatar. Really for best results. That's what you're going to get. Blend shape interpolation. What that is when she makes an expression, right? Does it pop from one expression to the other? Like, is there no kind of smooth blending, right? So if you're doing like that, well, let's see, yeah, okay, you're getting more of well, let's see, I'm not sure about this. Test. Am I getting more choppy? Default face blend shape. I can make it happy. That's gonna stay happy, right? And angry. All right. And turn this back to none and none. There we go. Give you more control. Always hands down mode, self-explanatory. She's always going to talk like this. This is the stuff that's also in the other panel. Custom hand down pose. You can set this in the free layout mode, like, and move your character in a particular kind of default setting that you want for her to always be in that position. I've got an option to put random typing to hide the key input. Now, for example, right now, I'm hitting just one key, right? So she's typing on all these keys, but I'm hitting only one key over and over again. If I'm in presentation mode, see what I've got? I've got the capability of turning on this pointer support, hand position radius, such and such. I'd like, hold on a second, I'm gonna see when I'm in a big distance from her, I'm getting better result, more control over the inverse kinematics. Alright, so let's turn that off. and put it back into default. Hand height, hand length, press key, hand height adjust, see how my height is like going crazy like this. Okay, all right, that's got back. All right, and I have they say wait motion, and I would say, well, it's idling. It's an idling motion, right? And so if you have an idling motion, right, you can say, well, it's going to begin to repeat at a certain point, and that's going to be its period, right? But if you scale it, if you scale it, it's essentially like getting you scale it up. The animation is going to go slower, right? And if the period it's really small, it's going to be cutting into that animation that's playing. All right. I'm in free camera mode now, so as you can see, I can adjust her, move her around. Free layout, again, that's where I have the capability of moving the keyboard and the mouse device. Device visibility, gamepad, for example, I can turn it on. MIDI controller, does that show? Yeah, okay, look, a MIDI controller appears. Wow. I need to get me a MIDI controller just so I can try it out. To change the device's appearance, please see the tips below. So this is of interest. I'm going to bring this over here so we can see it. When you click on that, it's going to show you some of your UV unwrap, etc. This is your gamepad, right? So you could literally put stickers on this or paint stripes on it or do whatever you wanted to with it. And that's a UV map, and that's an unwrap for a three-dimensional object. And you can see the mesh pattern of the mesh object, and this is what you paint on to actually paint on the object. Magic Mirror can load custom textures for keyboards, key, or touchpad. So far, only PNG image is available. Before starting Magic Mirror, open the following folder: 1.9 or later vMagic Mirror files, textures, 1.82 or older streaming assets. Put the images to replace in this folder. Please use the specific file name for each purpose. Right, so this is like a template, and my suggestion is, if you're going to go in and modify it, that you rename, like change the file, the default, keep the default texture there, just change the file extension so it won't be detected as an image. I usually change it to .bak, right? And then I know that I have that image out there and I can change it back. Okay, so yeah, and also it looks like there is an arcade stick. So if the thing detects an arcade stick, apparently it's going to show an arcade stick, and it's going to animate to that, which is cool. Now I've got it set on ultra high quality and half FPS. Let's see. I'll turn this off and see what I'm getting. Am I getting a little bit more? Is it a little bit more fluid? I guess I can do that. Low FPS for bone motion. I don't see where I really... Yeah, it looks a little bit jittery that way. I'm not sure. All right. So light intensity. You can see there's just a point where I'm getting the most kind of 3D look from the way the shader, and if I go outside of that range, it's just a mess, right? So if the intensity goes, way up like this, I don't see any of that anymore. I can still see it here on some of the black, but the best results, about 70, 75, 76, 77. All right, and can change the angle of the light, and notice the effect on the shader. There are my shadow controls. Bloom is sort of, well, okay, am I gonna get bloom? Oh, have I got to enable it? Hold on a second. I've done this before and got bloom to work. I'm going to go into the, I don't know why this is not working. Hold on a second. Let's go into accessory. I'm going to turn off this stuff. And seems like I should be able to be getting bloom. There we go. So you can get your character like glowing or whatever like that with this. All right. See, 0. All right. Now, here's the wind section. When I turn the wind strength up full blast, you can see that I've got it. I've already calibrated it so it's not blowing back through her body. That's funny. Her boobs are picking up the wind. It's picking up. Now, if you notice, now when I'm trying to get it to, yeah, here we go. There's a tendency of it to, of the wind to cause the hair to blow through the model, right? And so what I like to do is I like to put it on high and find out where it's gonna go back, and then away from her, right? And then bring it down to get it just right. So it's not jumping through her all the time. Here's where I set up my devices. And I really want to get a MIDI controller so I can actually try this and see what I can do with it. But right now I don't have one. Here are the word to motion settings. You can see that I've chosen keyboard num 1 to 9. I could put it on none, or word. So if it's word and I type joy, right there you go. Reset. But I like this one the best, where I can just type a number or something and have it come together. I can set up more hotkeys. All right, and this is my file control automation. Warning, this feature enables to skip license check when loading local file VRM. You must confirm the model's license beforehand. Vroid Hub model is not supported in this feature. When we'll use this, you should use this feature when you're working with several models. For example, when they're the same character but different clothes models and you want to switch them quickly. There are characters with different proportion or face settings and you want to switch them quickly. And this goes into more details of that. There's like a what I am missing today is there is a way to put more blend shapes and motion capture onto these models. And hold on a second, I am going to, I'm not going to forget. Hold on a second. It's if you notice in the vMagick Mirror files folder, there's a motions folder. to use custom motion in vMagick Mirror, on the Unity editor, export motion files available on vMagick Mirror. Put exported motion into the motions folder. Select the motion on Word to Motion feature. So as you can see, you can get all kinds of emotes or whatever through Unity, and bring that in and make your character do a lot of custom stuff. Let's see if she's gonna come. He's doing something. Did she crash? I'm not sure. Hold on. She may have crashed. I think she did. Hold on. I'm gonna just restart. Well, let's see. What I had really, really hoped to get to is this one last thing. Let's see how we're doing here. This is interesting. It's picked up it didn't save exactly the settings that I had. So I go over to accessory and see it's got the studio room. That is very interesting. I'm gonna open this up, and I don't know why it went to this, but I'm gonna bind this to the world, and then I'm gonna take a quick look at it and see. This is one that had baked on textures that I couldn't get to load before, but this time it loaded. I don't know why. It's bizarre. And the textures look decent, not totally awesome, but pretty decent. Alright, so I'll go into accessory and I'll go and turn this off, and see if I can get, hold on, okay. Really, I just want a web page. Stable Diffusion. Wow, let's check it out, but not today. What is that, 15 minutes? Okay, good. I'm in good shape. So this is a little thing for movie people and history people or whatever like that. Archive.org, right? And the Wayback Machine or whatever. A lot of times, web pages come and go. The Wayback Machine tries to make copies of stuff that goes up on the web, and they also people that do archive work and stuff like libraries or whatever. You can create an account if you're at a library. You can create an account and upload your books, scan them here, and people can check them out. The OCR is crap, but what I want to look at is like, say you've got an old movie star, right? Peter Lorre, for example. And you go in here, you're going to search for Peter Lorre. And I'm just going to check movies here, so I'm only going to bring up his movies. And here we go. I'll go open link and new tab. The Verdict, there's one. Open link. The Chase, right? Dr. Gogol. O Medico Loco. Yeah, okay. Black Angel, right? All right, so what do I have here? I open up the page. Here's the movie file, but notice that it's got an option here for torrent, right? Now torrents are they're peer-to-peer file sharing, right? And a lot of times it's associated, and it is, a lot of people just pirate stuff. When they pirate stuff, they put it on torrents. But archive.org, well, torrents are really great, and there are legal torrents. So this is what you would do if you wanted to get this thing faster. If you try to get it from here, it's going to come really slow. But if you want to get it fast, you could get this torrent file. Now, I'm going to pretend that I don't have BitTorrent. Let's see, BITTORRENT, and select BitTorrent download. Download BitTorrent clients for Windows. Make sure it's not some phishing site, right? And BitTorrent Classic is what I want. And it's got all these paid versions and stuff. Nobody can detect what you're downloading kind of versions and everything. And here's the free one, and I'm going to download that. And run it. See what happens. It's getting that. Hold on just a second. I'm still here. Do you want to let BitTorrent Classic modify your device? Yes, I do. All right, so here it comes up, and I wanna be careful here. So, hope I'm doing okay on time. This wizard will guide you through the installation. Blah 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 blah. Click next to continue. Warning, make sure you get the software from the right location. Don't download a virus. Yeah. License agreement and privacy policy. Agree. All right, now this is a thing you want to watch. It's like we want to install all this crap on your computer, right? I can hit decline, or I can say skip all this crap. I don't want any of it. Create quick launch icon, create a desktop icon. Okay. So there, and the file types, the associations are the torrent, the magnet URIs, and the BT search, BitTorrent search engine files. I want to associate it with that. And add an exception in the firewall for BitTorrent to work. and start BitTorrent when Windows starts up. So here we go. Downloading and installing BitTorrent. To get our Hollywood Antiquities fix off of archive.org, this is the best way to do it. All right, launch the application on exit. I'm going to go with that. Okay, so you can see I already had it installed because it's got this, I don't know why this, I chose this download, and it's supposed to be a movie with Bela Lugosi, The Phantom Ship, but it's clearly not because it's a 1.52K. Something's wrong there, so I'm just going to go ahead and remove torrent, delete torrent and data to get rid of that. Now, let's go back to archive.org. Here's The Verdict, 1946. Peter Lorre, Joan Loring. Gothic mystery with a hint of film noir. Okay, so I click on this. And there it goes. It's downloaded now, The Verdict. I'm going to double click on it. And here it comes. All right. So I've opened the torrent file, and I can see that I've got a bunch of files here. When you're getting stuff from archive, it's important to do this step. When this panel comes up and says, "Do you want to download this stuff?" Look at what they're getting you. It may be 2 different versions of the same thing, so you don't want to get that. You don't need this stuff. You don't need a thumbnail, right, or whatever. You just want the movie, period, file, and click that. .793 megs, and as we can see, let's see how fast it gets going, right? Sometimes the speed will get okay, look, it's starting to speed up, right? Almost 2 megs a second. So you will find, like a lot of times, torrents, because they're peer-to-peer, and every computer that has a copy of this thing on the whole internet, right? And it is on this peer-to-peer network, they'll all send a little piece of it, right? Which means that it can blaze to your computer faster than any other possible way of getting it to your computer. All right, so that's it. That's everything I wanted to do today. It's saying I've got. All right. Any questions?
I'm good.
All right.
Cool.
So yeah, I recommend this. I watched a guy. I know Diane is doing this kind of stuff. This artificial intelligence artwork. But I saw some guys yesterday that were really doing incredible stuff. It's text based. You know, they type in something, and then it comes back with an image. Stable diffusion is one method. There's another AI art generator called Midjourney. But there are ways to go from Midjourney to 3D, and this is something I think everybody that's like a this kind of an artist should think about. Like if you're a storyteller, right? This is a way that you can write down a description and actually generate image, and then from that image there are procedures that you can go onward to an animated character. So we'll look at that more down the line. So when this thing started, it was saying it was going to take 40 minutes, and now it's looking like I'll have the whole movie downloaded to my computer inside of 4 minutes. So it's really the way to go. If I'm on Archive a lot, recently I made a round trying to get the all the old Bela Lugosi movies. And so, let's see, I'm going to put this, sort this by type. Well, it's got DivX. And just for Archive, I was able to get about 48 of all the old Lugosi stuff. I thought I was getting the Shandu, the Return of Shandu and stuff, but I'm not sure. Oh, I know where it is. It's still over in the downloads folder, but I've got it over there, but I haven't moved it to this Lugosi folder. But it's interesting as time passes, to go and go and find all those old movies or whatever, and go back and take a look at them again. And Archive's a great place to find stuff like that. All the old magazines, even, and shout out to Archive about this. For example, TV Guide, local, Georgia. Oh no, that's exactly the opposite of what I wanted. I only want the text. Well, I thought they had some up. Yeah, they do. Right? So you can actually go in. I've gone on eBay before. I would love to get, the TV guides from when we were growing up, and go back. You have to get the local one in order to see exactly what was on. But a lot of these things are turning up on Archive now, and it's really fun to go in and see exactly what was on TV, in 1965. Some of these are just covers, but some of them are the actual scans of the magazines. These are just covers. And this is an example. Yeah. All right. So that ended our Google Meet. this is an example of the kind of stuff that when it was around, you threw it in the trash as quick as possible. And now when you look around for it, it's really hard to find. But anyway, that's the end of the class for today. And thanks for tuning in. And we'll see you again next time.